I think there's a lot of things that have changed in out-of-home over the last few years, but it's worth noting that it still is a highly effective reach medium. In fact, if you think about the rest of the media ecosystem, most of the reach media that traditionally have been used by marketers, TV, radio, print, they've all been either destroyed or disrupted. Out-of-home is the last truly scaled reach medium there is. What's happened over the last few years is we've taken that power of out-of-home, the reach, the scale, and brought on top of that a data layer. The ability to plan audiences the same way that you would across digital channels, and then measure those campaigns and optimize those campaigns. Clear Channel, about 9 years ago, brought to market a platform that we call Radar. That was the first measurement platform for the industry. And we've been really leading this process of bringing measurement and data capabilities into the space to help marketers really truly understand the value, the scale, and the impact of their out-of-home buys.
Dan, Clear Channel has secured a powerful footprint across New York through the MTA and Port Authority airports. How does that position the company to capitalize on the growing demand for premium, high-attention environments?
So over the last few years, we've been very fortunate to sign contracts with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, who among other things manages all 4 New York area airports, and then the MTA, the Metropolitan Transit Authority, who in addition to operating the subways and buses and trains and things like that, they own over 300 billboards on property that, so basically the above ground advertising in New York City and the broader DMA. And so we won the contract for that. And in both cases, they created opportunities not just to increase our footprint and our scale and our reach and our solutions to our clients, but the opportunity to modernize. So if you've flown through LaGuardia Airport, or if you've been in Terminal A at Newark, or if you've seen the work that's doing in JFK right now, that's part of the work that we do. When we take over an airport, we create more of a digital experience that both enhances the passenger experience. I fly through LaGuardia all the time. It used to be awful. Now it's easy. One of the reasons for that is the signage, the environment, the clean kind of nature of it, and it's a much better advertising experience. We're about to start that process with the MTA, where we've taken over the rights to sell advertising on their 300 plus billboards. New York is a very, very challenging market when it comes to building billboards or converting them to digital. Lots of regulation, lots of red tape. But through our contract with the MTA, it gives us the ability to bring more digital media. So we are now converting key assets to digital displays. Why does that matter? Because a digital display delivers audiences at scale in a way that's addressable and consistent with the way that digital marketers work. And so the more digital we bring to New York, the more effective the media solutions are in helping marketers reach New Yorkers. Even without the conversions that we're going to be doing over the next year with the MTA, our network, our digital network in New York, reaches 1 out of 3 New York City residents in a month. It's a scaled reach medium that's just going to get bigger and more impactful.
Dan, earlier you talked about the introduction of Radar as a very powerful tool in Clear Channel's arsenal. Wanted to talk a little bit more about that. It's long been a differentiator for the company. How are advances in audience data and measurement helping advertisers connect out-of-home exposure to real business outcomes, and how does Radar help do that?
So Radar was built to help marketers understand where people go and what they do in the physical world. It's about movement. It's about understanding that kind of behaviors in the physical world, and then understanding the role that out-of-home plays in influencing those behaviors, influencing people's attitudes. We brought Radar to market 9 years ago, and it's been a game changer for us in how we actually can engage with customers. Instead of talking about displays or inventory or signs, we're talking about audiences and outcomes. And we started down the path years ago of being able to prove things that are pretty straightforward, like you see a billboard and you visit a store that's advertised. We've gone so much further beyond that to now we are helping marketers at scale measure out-of-home's impact on things like web visitation, app downloads and app usage, video viewing, whether it's linear, CTV, whatever it may be. We have developed an entire business around the pharmaceutical industry because we have the ability to work with their data and give them a deep understanding of the impact that out-of-home has in driving a return on that advertising investment. And so it's really been a game changer in the way that we can have a conversation with the client. I came over here from a meeting with a client who came in thinking that billboards were a nice to have medium. Came away from it with a follow-up to do a deep dive with his data analytics team to talk about ways that we can help better inform their model, and don't want to lose sight of this, also bring in my creative leader to talk about how do you use the medium effectively, because it is a highly creative medium, but designing for billboards is very different than designing for banner ads or video.
Dan, with initiatives like Clear Channel Impact and industry-wide measurement enhancements from Geopath, the OAAA, and Ipsos, are we entering a new era where out-of-home can demonstrate not just audience delivery, but measurable business and community impact?
So I like to reframe it a little bit, that I don't know that we're entering a new era, but rather we're in an era that we continue to improve. I like to talk sometimes about the fact that we're at a point in time on a continuum of change. And so what we as an industry are doing and what we at Clear Channel are doing is continuing to drive that innovation and change to move that forward. I think everything that we've done with data and data analytics has helped us connect out of home to digital and performance media in a way that you haven't been able to in the past. Now, you mentioned Clear Channel Impact. That's very different, but I think it's really important. This is an initiative that we just announced where we are recognizing that the out-of-home industry can do more to not only support brands and businesses, but nonprofits and causes. Most brands have CSR budgets or nonprofits they support or missions to support their communities. And so Clear Channel Impact is a program we've brought to market that gives us the ability to work with brands and use their advertising dollars to deliver full value on their advertising. If they do a $10 million contract with us, they get $10 million of media value. But we take a piece of that and repurpose that into community impact. That can literally be Clear Channel writing a check to fund a nonprofit. It can be production of social media content to help the brand tell the story about what they're doing with community impact. It can be activation on the ground. The idea is it gets us to working with brands in ways that we can deliver not only measurable positive business outcomes, but actually give back to our community in a way that works for the brands and works for the people that they're trying to reach.